G'day folks, Phil Lawlor from All Aussie Shock Leaders. I'm here today to show you how I recommend to connect the All Aussie Shock Leader, which is the Twisted Leaders. One here I've got as an example today is out of the weedless range. The weedless range, well, they all are constructed the same. They all have that little integral connection loop at the top that goes through a double twist. The double twist then comes down and goes through the clips or the worm hooks. This particular one here is a 4O worm hook. You'll notice that there's a triple O ball seeker sitting on his nose there in that loop. The double twist then goes through and comes back on itself, so you've got a bite tippet of about 150 mil there. That's very good for abrasion resistance, especially our species up here in the northern Queensland area. The barramundi, the mangrove jack, 4 strands. Okay, like I said earlier, you've got that little connection loop at the top there in the Twisted Leader. What I'm going to do now is show you, using the fluorescent builder's twine, how I recommend to connect your short double in your braid mainline to the small loop at the top of the Twisted Leader. So I'm going to use this pink fluorescent builder's twine here. I'll show you how to tie a simple double in your braid mainline, which you require to connect to the top loop of the Twisted Leader. All I'm going to show you now is one way to create a short double in your braid mainline, that being a simple spider's hitch. I start off folding my double over by about 400 mil. I then pick the double up in between my thumb and forefinger of my left hand. With the double, clockwise direction overhand loop, and then sit that overhand loop under your thumb and your forefinger of your left hand, just like that. You then pick up the end of the braid double, coming up through the bottom, out the top once, up through the bottom, out the top twice, up through the bottom, out the top the third time. Basically 3 granny knots. You then slowly close up that connection, and that will all slowly close up neatly like that. Obviously, as you can imagine, if you're using 20-30 pound braid, that knot there would be much finer, but simply using the fluorescent builder's twine, that simulates that nicely. You would then cut off that tag end of that double, and that finishes off your double in the end of your braid main line. What I'm going to do now is show you how to connect that short main double in your braid main line to the top loop of the Twisted Leader. I've just folded a piece of green builder's twine in half, and you'll notice that small loop at the top. That's going to simulate the small loop at the top of the Twisted Leader. Okay, picking up the double in your braid main line, you pass up through the bottom of the small loop of your Twisted Leader, put it between your thumb and forefinger, and then just draw it back along the double like that. You then open up the double of the braid main line, then you pick up your Twisted Leader and bring it up through the double. You will notice that now the double is more or less hanging on the bottom. What you do now is pick up the double, put a half a twist away from you in the double, open it up, and pull the leader back down through the opposite way. You will now notice that the double is sitting on top of the leader. We now pick up the double again, put a half a twist in it away from you again, open it up, pull the leader through. You'll now notice that the braid double's again on the bottom. This is the last time we'll put a half a twist in this. So you pick up the braid double for the third time, half a twist away, open it up. You can see now the pattern that's starting to form in the double and your Twisted Leader. Open it up, pull it through. Now if we have a good look at that now, you'll see the twists that are starting to form in the braid double around the Twisted Leader. All we do now is grasp the double knot, we grasp the Twisted Leader, and we slowly close up the connection. When you get to about this stage, ensure there is tension, equal tension, in both strands of the double. And you can adjust that just by pulling tight on the bottom end of the braid double. So once you've closed it up to about that point there, apply a little bit of lubrication to the connection, then grasp the twisted leader, grasp the double, and slowly draw it up. You can put a little bit of pressure on that to close up that knot. Give it a couple of little snaps like that. What that does is just equalises the tension in the braid double and closes up that connection there. You will notice that the braid double is not directly connected to the small loop on the top of the twisted leader. It's actually plaited or spiralled around both strands of the twisted leader there. There is no way that connection can come apart. This is the only knot in the whole system that you've tied, which is whatever knot you choose to form a short double in your main braid line. That's all for that one.